December 5th, 2024 marks my 4 years sober. Unbelievable. I can't believe it's gone so well. One thing that construction workers do suffer from is we like to party. And that was me. For years and years and years, I was the life of the party, drinking, having fun, seeing how much more I could drink. And that took a real toll out of me. I come home from work and I went right to the bottle. And I know this sounds like one of those typical stories, but I was just an average guy. Like I was just like anybody else. I was a high functioning alcoholic. No problem. I had a successful construction business and I could come home and drink my face off. And I never got a hangover, but there was a moment in my life where I decided it was time to give it up. And if you're out there and you feel like you're struggling with this, you're not alone. It's everywhere. Everybody drinks. It's a social norm. If you watch a show on TV, how many times are they pouring drinks? It's in our face every single day. And it's fun. I mean, it was great. I love drinking. There was nothing I couldn't drink. My favorite was tequila and some beer and some rum, and yeah, I drank everything. But it was eroding my life. It was eroding my relationships with my wife. It was eroding my relationships with my friends and my kids. And I didn't realize how much it affected me until one day, a really good friend of mine, Daryl, came up to me and said, "Scotty, we had an amazing conversation last night, and I really value what you said, and I think I'm going to start applying that concept to my life." And to be honest with you, I don't remember even talking to him. And I said, "We talked last night?" And he says, "Yeah, we talked for about 2.5 hours." And it wasn't like I was super wasted. It was just an average night for me. I probably only had 4 or 5 beer that night. But I started realizing that my brain was going, my memory was going. I was overstressed, drinking too much, and it was really starting to affect me. So I decided that I'm going to take a week off. And I don't normally do that. I might take one day off a year. And I think that was like a Sunday that happened. And we got to about Thursday, and I was really jonesing for a drink. And I decided if I could just stay in, instead of going out with my friends, if I could just stay in for this Friday, maybe I could go another week. And we're talking, it's like December. This is like the party month. I mean, every month's a party month when you're a heavy drinker. You always have a reason to party. Could be a birthday or summer or football game or soccer game or whatever it is. So that's what I did. I went another week. And we got to the next weekend. And I looked at my wife, Olivia, and I said, we haven't argued in the last 2 weeks. And she says, "I know, it's been nice." And I started realizing that I was the problem. It was my alcoholism that was causing my problems. My financial problems were going down the hole. My company's going down the hole. My relationships were going down the hole because I was too focused on what I was going to be drinking. Any party I went to, okay, who's driving? What are we drinking? How are we getting there? It was all based around drinking. And that was a hard pill to swallow, knowing that I was the problem, that I was the issue. My sweet, lovely wife decided to stay with me all these years, even though I was the problem. And thank God she did, because I found the light. It's not easy. Quitting drinking was not easy. Most of my friends were disappointed in me because I was their drinking partner. I was their reason to get out of the house and drink and have fun and wash the problems away. And when I quit drinking, a lot of my friends just called me up and said, man, I've lost my drinking buddy, or, I don't want to hang around with quitters. And that was a tough pill to swallow. I'd go to my friends' houses and they'd be like, "Hey, would you like a drink? Oh, I forgot you're a quitter." They think it's fun, but that actually really hurt me inside. And I think that was the big struggle for me. It wasn't the fact that quit. I had already made that decision, but to lose my friends, that was difficult. I don't know if they actually felt I was judging them. I thought that they thought I was judging them. So it could have all been in my head. I felt like they don't want to be around someone that's trying to do something better with their life. So I isolated myself for months. But on the flip side, I need to tell you that there is light at the end of the tunnel. My life was starting to wind down, coming to the end of my life at only 45 years old. And now I've got my whole life ahead of me. I've got another 50 years ahead of me of goals and dreams and inspirations and relationships. And it didn't take me 4 years to figure this out. It took me around 6 to 8 months to really figure out that I've quit drinking and I'm on the path to becoming the best version of myself. And every day is a struggle. I mean, I don't struggle with not drinking, but I do struggle because the drinking, it helped me bury my problems and it helped me bury my ADHD. It helped control my ADHD. I mean, there's lots of reasons that I could still be drinking. One of the major success stories in my life from quitting drinking, and I've got lots of success stories and I could, pat myself on the back for anything, but I want to just take a moment to say that I made a huge impact in my kids' lives. My one child, she was dating someone just like me, someone that partied, was the life of the party, drank a crap load, and was fun to be around. I mean, I was fun. My wife wouldn't say I was fun, but I was fun. And my daughter, that's who her boyfriend was. And when I had quit, I didn't realize until about a couple years later when that her relationship with that person disappeared and she found somebody else. She found someone that loves her, that doesn't drink, isn't a huge partier, someone that's actually trying to be a better version of themselves. And I realized that I made a big decision in my life that affected my kids. I made an example of what could be out there. Now, I'm not the perfect human being by any means. And maybe she didn't find someone different because her dad was changing. But I like to that narrative works for me in my head. And I tell myself that because I think it's important to realize that you are the example to your children. You are the example to the people that you lead. And when you make a decision in your life to become a better person, it changes everything around you. It changes your environment, it changes who you hang out with. And some of those friends that criticized me 4 years later have now come to me and said, "Hey, I've decided to give up alcohol." I was one of their first calls. So I know I made an impact on people. And it's funny how life works. If you don't really care about how life goes, then you could just be whoever you want to be without any thought. But it takes some real discipline to sit down and put some thought to why you're here on this earth. What is your purpose here? And who are you affecting? Who are you being example to? I've had lots of mentors in my life. And there's an unspoken mentor here that most of my friends don't even know. And I don't even think this person that made a difference in my life knows either. But I really looked up to a skateboarder named Sluggo. I didn't grow up with him, but we were in the same sort of era. We'd go to the Richmond skate ranch and watch him skateboard, or we would follow him around. And he was a little bit of an idol for me. So I followed him because, he's I can't remember how old he is now, but he's a little bit older than me. And at 45, 46 years old, he's skateboarding and he decided to quit drinking. And he made a post on Instagram when he celebrated his, I think it was like 3 or 4 years sober. And I envied that. I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I want to be doing. I want to be sitting in front of a camera telling people how not drinking anymore has made a massive impact on my life. And I want to say that Sluggo has been an inspiration to me as well as several other people. And I want to personally thank him for that. Sluggo, you don't know who I am, but thank you for posting that. And I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep this going. I don't want the message to be, hey, look at Scotty. That's not the message here. The message is, if you're not happy with what you're doing in your own life, then change it. And there's support for that. And if your friends don't support you, there are friends out there that will. And eventually, those friends that were the naysayers at the beginning, they're going to look up to you. And you're going to make a huge impact in their life by leading by example. And I hope that if I affect anybody, or if this resonates with anybody and you do quit, share your story. Share your story to everyone, because we can inspire everyone to be the best version of themselves and to give up a very, very controlling poison called alcohol. Well, if you made it to the end of the video, I hope it's because I've made a massive impact in your life. I'd love to hear your story. If you're struggling, reach out, send me a message. If you've got a similar story where you've overcome this disease, this problem, this situation, let me know. I want to hear. I want to celebrate in your successes as well. So thanks for watching. And I know this was a really tough video for me to get through. Hopefully, you know, you had an easy time getting through it, easier than me talking about it. Leave a comment. I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear what you've gone through or what you're planning to do. Leave a comment, and we'll stay in touch. Thanks for watching.